My name is Femi Taiwo, and the first thing I want to do is just kind of wiggle a bit on this stage. My name is Femi Taiwo. I'm a social entrepreneur and a leadership development coach. One of the exciting things I have to do in my life is to help design and deliver youth development programs and work alongside entrepreneurial leaders across the continent and outside of the continent on their ambition and aspiration to change the world. Now, when I was growing up, one of the most exciting things that I had to do, I mean, now it's exciting, but then it wasn't so exciting, was to read a lot of books and write book reports. My dad wanted me to spend time to learn a lot about the world, how it worked, and the people of the world, and the people that had gone through the world. I found myself skipping through a lot of books, but I found myself excited about some books. So I saw that I loved biographies and autobiographies and short stories of how people had come to this world and changed the world. In this, I saw how the Wright brothers were crazy enough to say they wanted to see human beings fly from one place to the other. I saw a young Bill Gates in Lakeside College having a dream of a computer on every desk around the world. I saw the craziness and the audacity of a Walt Disney, trying to create an experience that everybody from around the world could come and enjoy. One of the things that struck me, in all of these stories, and I can go on and on, the JFK and landing the man on the moon, Martin Luther King and, the famous speech that captured his aspiration for the society, for America, I have a dream. We could go on and on. But one thing we can say is that these visionaries were bold and were audacious to capture a piece of tomorrow and present it to all of us in their day. And so my fascination and curiosity for how small things become big, how greatness can be captured today, just went on and on from that point. And I started discovering about vision, talking about self-awareness, trying to understand how did these guys arrive on what they wanted to be? How did these guys arrive on what they wanted to give to the world? How did they take a step back and say, you know what, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to give to the world. So I'm going to be talking a bit about the audacity of vision. And I think that the simplicity of it is something that we can all imbibe and take on and go out there to do audacious things. So first, what is vision? There are many things you hear about vision, and I like simple things. So let's start with this simple definition that you most likely have read. A picture of a preferred future, right? Some people even go ahead and say a picture of a preferred future that you want to feature in, right? The reality is that a vision is that, but even much more. A vision is a clear picture of your aspiration for yourself, for others, and for society. It is basically a bold, audacious attempt to articulate and project into tomorrow. And, looking inwards and saying, based on my potential, based on my gifts, my talents, my ability, this is what I can be, this is what I can do for the world. That is what a vision is. Many times, we see hero entrepreneurs and the visionaries that we celebrate all around the world, within this continent and outside, as people that are doing things that we cannot do. But the reality is that you and I, can also be visionaries in our own space. You and I have the capacity to envision and to leverage visioning to our advantage. I'm sure coming into this room today, you probably had a vision of how you wanted to look, how you wanted to dress. Some of you, like a friend of mine that put a ring on it recently, have a vision of the dates or how they're going to propose to somebody. So we already are leveraging the ability to envision. You might have a vision for the perfect pasta you're going to cook once you get back home, right? The prawns and how the carrots and how everything will add up, despite the economy, right? That same ability can be used to say by 2030, right? By 2050, this is what I want to deliver to the world. This is what I want to give to my world. So let's go a bit into how to do this. What are the sources of vision? How do you come about a bold, audacious, authentic vision for your life and for your community? Where does that confidence come from? Where does that audacity come from? Now, I'm going to share three major things. They are not necessarily mutually exclusive, because three of them add up to form a perfect picture of what tomorrow can be for you. But let's just quickly go through this. The first is look within. Can we say that together? Look within. You know, man has discovered time and time again that every human being on earth is unique. So that's the whole concept of biometrics. Our fingerprints are unique. Facial recognition, features of our face are unique to us. Right? But even more and more, we're discovering other things. Gait analysis. Each and every 7 billion people on earth walk differently. That means the combination of your bone structure, your muscle mass, and the way you lift your leg is actually quite unique. So some airports are already even using gait analysis to validate that this is the right person. Researchers are finding that even the shape of our ear, you can program and understand each individual, or to a certain degree, that this is an individual, because our ears are unique. Think about that. So you are not mass-produced. No, you are not mass-produced. So that means beyond our DNA and all of those uniqueness, we can actually look inward to see all that we have been given to give our world. That unique combination of personality, passion, the dreams that won't leave you alone, the ideas that won't leave you alone, the pain that you feel in life and that you feel for others, the frustration about the things around the world. All of these things are pointers to our unique design. And they are sources or they are inputs that we can, merge with other things to articulate tomorrow. I mean, think about it. You probably have groups of friends. And you're wondering, why is this guy so crazy about this and it doesn't even move me? That's because it's unique to you. 4 months ago, my wife and I gave birth to a set of twins. While they are not identical, yeah, thank you, I'm a father of 3. I just jumped from 1 to 3, like that. While they are not identical, in the first few weeks they were identical. And I remember the nurses had to identify them with the tags they had on their leg. But me, I could tell there were some unique, these features, and I noted that. But over the last 4 months, it has been a wonder seeing how they are unique. David, the first boy, I call him the gentle giant. He has swag, he has tease. I can already see his personality. I mean, I don't have the idea of his gifts yet, but I can see that this guy is going to become collected, strategic. Some of the attributes of his father, right? And Joshua, on the other hand, I can see that Joshua is going to move some mountains, right? Jerichos will fall. I can already tell. The guy is bold, he's audacious, but he has that powerful smile, charismatic. At 4 months, he can ask you out and make a pitch, and you probably write that check for him, right? Another set of the features of his father, right? And maybe some of his mom, because you're going to watch this later. So, anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that unfortunately, our educational system has not been optimized to help us to discover ourselves. But I want to challenge you to spend time, explore your personality, explore the passions within you, explore the dreams that won't leave you alone, explore the frustrations, the pain, the things you enjoy to do, that time flies, the pleasure. Explore all of these things, articulate it, reflect on them. Because they are pointers and inputs to your vision. Now, the second thing I would say is look around. Look around. The world is changing. The world is evolving. Some things are changing, some things won't change. You can look into the world, the wicked problems in the world that resonate with you, the exciting opportunities. Because, as technology, as knowledge is being, new knowledge is coming, you can look at that with anticipation and say, this is where I want to participate. This is how I want to contribute. This is how I think I can contribute. So you can look around, demographical changes or demographic trends, patterns. You could even look at history. Or you could just say, this is the SDGs. This is one thing I'm going to give the world. That's one powerful way to look at tomorrow. That's one powerful lens to frame tomorrow. Thirdly, this is a very interesting one, by the way. If you look around this room, I like doing this exercise when I teach about this. There is nothing here that is an accident. The organizers of this TEDx event have been intentional to put this in this spot. There's a lot of intentionality. all around. A lot of intentionality. Chaos could not have created disorder. The truth of the matter is that you were created. And you can look up at that person who created you and understand through your relationship with him and through interaction with things that are beyond you, a bit about yourself. Now I'm going to pause there. So what are the three things? Look within, look around, and look up. Because all of these things are pointers and are sources, that you can use, are inputs that you can use to build and craft and discover a compelling vision for your life. Now, why is vision important? Walk with me here. Imagine a game of basketball without the hoop. Think about it. Michael Jordan, Steve Curry running around with shorts, sweating, and they're just bouncing ball around, no hoops. Imagine a game of golf without the hole. You just wake up, carry the club, and you're just eating and eating and eating and moving around. Imagine a game of football without the goalpost. That's the way many people live their lives. No vision. No game plan. Nothing ahead of them. They can't point to a true north to channel their energy, to channel their goals. You cannot afford to live that way, and you cannot afford to leave your future blank. Vision helps to focus your energy. It becomes a source of inspiration. It simplifies your decision. Right? It rallies you as an individual, but also attracts other people and resources to you. So you can't afford to live your life blank and without a vision. So finally, I'm going to end on this note. What do you do with vision? Once you've gone through that process of looking within, looking around, and looking up, and you've articulated some things, like I did almost 12 years ago, what do you do with it? And this is where the audacious living comes in. Number one is the audacity to believe in it. The people around you might not understand it. They might not see what you see. They might not be able to. They might be like, what are you thinking about? That was the way Walt Disney was. It didn't make sense. When the decision was made to land a man on the moon, all the technologies needed to land a man on the moon was not ready. They could not capture the budget. They could not even imagine how much they would spend. So, but the audacity to believe in it is one audacity you need as you embrace your vision. Secondly, the audacity to behold it and have others behold it. And this is where, the vision boards, the vision statements come in, and you talking about your vision. You cannot allow it to go away from your frame of reference. You have to always have it in front of you. The audacity to behold it consistently. Thirdly, the audacity to behave it, to start planning with it, to start practicing towards it, to start dressing like it, to start speaking like it, to start preparing towards it. 4, the audacity to associate with it. To walk up to people that look like it, are already manifesting dimensions of it, to seek the mentors, to seek the communities, to seek the ecosystems, to build your library towards it, to associate with it. The audacity to dare it. Small versions of it everywhere you are. To start doing it and daring it. And finally, the audacity to persevere and persist, even in the midst of failure, even when it doesn't make sense. I leave you with these last words. You cannot afford to go through life casually. You can't. Where would the world be without the fruits of the vision, the hard copies that were once soft copies in the minds of others? You need to give the world an opportunity to experience and to engage with your hard copies. Right? So finally, I leave you with the words of this chancellor, with the chancellor of this university, another visionary, right? Who said once that catch a dream, take a throne. I want to tell you that you should catch a vision and live audacious. Thank you so much.